Ani, my friends, that means hello in Ojibwe.
Hello, today we're going to be making some wampum belts. A wampum belt is a special Indigenous piece of art that holds really important messages on it. The wampum that protects the land that I am on right now is called the Dish with One Spoon Treaty. A treaty is something that is on a wampum belt, and treaties are an agreement between one or more person or one or more party. Many countries have many different kinds of treaties, and all of these are used to protect different things such as land. What you're going to need for this activity is some colored crayons or markers or pencil crayons or crayons. You're going to need this worksheet, which is available in the description of this video. You're going to need 5 pipe cleaners, and they don't all have to be the same color. To modify this, you could only use 4 pipe cleaners or 3 pipe cleaners, and then you're just going to cross off one of these rows. We have 5 pipe cleaners because we have 5 rows on our grid. Each of these 5 pipe cleaners is going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 beads on it. That's how we can tell how many beads and how many pipe cleaners we need. So if you forget, you can just go back to your grid and say, I have 5 pipe cleaners because there are 5 rows on my grid. I need 12 beads on each because there are 12 columns. To start, I'm going to think about what's important to me. What would I like to hold sacred? What do I think I should be putting on my wampum belt? You're going to use this grid to draw out what's going to be on your wampum belt. So I think what's important to me is to keep my name sacred. I think I'm going to do a J because my name starts with J. It's important to do pencil first. So what they're going to end up looking like this, but what you can do is you can take your pencil and you can put an X on all of the spaces you're going to use to make a picture. So that's a J. Then I think I might do a P because my last name starts with the letter P. Doing this in pencil is important because you can go back and fix any mistakes you made. I've made this one a bunch of times, so I don't need to do that, but it makes sense for you to go through and use pencil first. Once I've done that, I'm just going to go through all of these and color them in, making sure that I'm coloring square by square to make this look really nice. I'm going to use, I think I'm going to switch colors. This is why you should use pencil first, because I made a decision that I changed. And I'm going to use pink to do the P, because I'd like to have a bunch of different colors on my wampum belt. So now that all of those are colored in, you can either choose a background color, so that means to choose a color that you're going to color all of the rest of the empty squares, or you can decide to make your background white. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep my background white. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to talk about, with my pencil, why I decided to write this wampum. So I'm going to say, this wampum represents my important name. And you would put your name at the top, and then you would put the date. This page has 2 wampum grids so that you can make 2 and you can choose your favorite one to make into your wampum. Fun part. What I'm going to do is, remember that all of these 5 rows stand for different pipe cleaners. So I'm going to just look at my first row. If we only look at the first row here, what is my first bead? What color is this? It's white, so I'm going to put a white bead onto my wampum, or onto my row for my wampum. The next bead I see, so I have that one here, the next bead I see is also white, so I'm going to take another white one. The next one I see is also white. So I'm going to take another white one. So now what? Is it white again? It's blue. So I'm going to take a blue bead and I'm going to put blue. What's next? I see white. I'm going to put white, and it's okay if this takes you a little while. The next one I see is white. After that, do I see blue or white? No, I see the color pink. So I'm going to grab my pink bead and I'm going to put pink on it. After that, I don't see blue or white again. I see pink, so I'm going to put pink onto my wampum again. I see another space for pink, so I'm going to put another pink bead. And then is it pink again? I see white, so I'm going to get another white bead and another white bead, and my 12th bead is white. So that's the first row of your wampum. When you squish them all together, they will start to create your picture. You squish it together, and then since we're done with this, since it has all 12 beads, I'm just gonna put it to the side. I'm gonna put it beside me. I'm gonna take my next one, and I'm gonna speed this up, but I'm going to do white, 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 blue, white, white, pink, white, 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 because that's the order that the beads are in. We look at these beside each other, we can see that it's starting to come together. I am going to create the other 3 pipe cleaners and then I will come back. Okay, so I've done all of these, and at this point we can see that this has started to make the same picture that I have drawn on my grid. The next step is really important, and this might be the time for a teacher to start doing this for you because this is a little bit trickier, but what you're going to need is a piece of cardstock or some sort of thick paper. So what you or your teacher is going to do is, you're going to put your beads to the side, and you're going to, on the sides of this, it's hard to show here, but on the sides here, you're going to cut 5 little slits pretty close together in the paper. And on the other side, I will draw this so that you can see what I mean. So I'm just cutting those little slits. I think you can see. On the other side, I'm doing the exact same thing. I'm trying to line them up to be in the same spot. It might be helpful if you take a ruler and draw across the page so that you make sure these are in the same spot. So I've got my 5 slits over here, and I've got my 5 slits over here so that they match up. That's going to be the bottom of your page, so those slits are now at the bottom. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my paper, and I've decided I'm doing my top one. I'm just going to cut it out. Just going to cut it out. And right above those slits that I did earlier, I'm going to put some glue. You can also do this by stapling. You can just staple these sheets, and then I'm just going to glue it to the top of the page so that it's stuck on there so that when I look, I know what the wampum means. Now I'm going to take all of my pipe cleaners with my beads. I'm going to take the first one, and I'm going to attach one side to the one side of my slit, and I'm going to attach the other side to the slit on the other side that matches up with that one. And you're going to want this to be pretty tight so that it stays in place. Does that make sense? So now these are attached to the paper. I'm going to then take my second row, and I'm going to attach this. It doesn't matter if your beads line up at first, if your beads start over here, because all you have to do is just slide them back into place. Then I'm going to take my next set, always making sure that it matches up with the row that I'm putting down on the paper or the one that I drew on the grid. And I'm going to slide them together. I'm going to take this one now, put my fourth one down, attach it to the paper, and then I'm going to take my last one and do the exact same thing. Once this is done, you are going to write my wampum and to keep this extra secure, what you can do is add 2 pieces of tape here, and then you can add pieces of tape there to make sure that they don't come off. And you're all done.
And I will leave you with miigwech. That means thank you in Ojibwe. Thank you so much for listening.